What's going on, everybody? It's Rick from Garden with Bar Chuckin'. The risers or the spacers, whatever you want to call them, the little piece of PVC, they're doing an excellent job right now. I was able to harvest the castings that I set on top, and now I have that tray filled with fresh bedding. Just going to go ahead and take these out. I will be placing this into the new tray. This will stay up as the feeding tray for another couple weeks. So let's check the feeding area. This had the butternut squash. I'll go ahead and show you here when I showed a little bit of the video of how it was coming along a few days ago. I think it'll be kind of cool to do a quick check-in on this feeding, which this is going to be 6 days. Wow. Well, they got a nice little party going on. And I don't know if you can tell, but the little spacer risers, they're doing excellent right now, which I love to see. Okay, well, I'll see you guys in about a week. There's the seeds and just a little bit of the outside of the butternut squash. Oh, here's my pumpkin stem. Yeah, so there's just another little bit. There's that mango pit. Wow, that's pretty crazy. The worms really went through that, which is pretty darn awesome. I'm going to go ahead, give this a nice fluffing, and I do have a special feeding for this week. That was looking pretty awesome to me. I do have a little bit more bedding for them. I'm going to give a good bit of grit, and because this will be finishing up soon, I'm going to keep adding a little bit of this azomite powder. It's just pulverized azomite. And then my normal grit, the ground up eggshell. For this special feeding, we had some avocado. It was old. It went ahead and just kind of started shriveling up on the inside when I cut into it. So they're getting that today with a couple nice handfuls of the pulp from the juicer. You can see there's a few lime ends in there. Hey, and a paper towel. So with that, I'll go ahead and use this to mark the middle. So it's pretty cool. I already added the grit, so I don't have to worry about that. I can just go ahead and cover up this feeding zone with all these old castings. I like to make sure it's all covered. As I've said before, I haven't had any pest issues since I've been freezing, and then also making sure that I bury the food scraps. On top of this, I'm going to add some of my ground worm chow. This consists of just a little bit of ground eggshell, ground up expired oats, old flour, and expired cornmeal. The really interesting thing is going to be to see the next level, which has never had any food. Wow, there was a bunch of worms poking through, possibly from when I stirred it all up. You can see a good bit of castings up on top. Now I don't know if that's from the worms falling through or if they've been down here making and depositing. There's definitely worm castings on the side here. So I'm going to give this a mix. This is not as moist as what it once was. This is just going on that tray that I just went ahead and fluffed, as will this. There's a little worm there. That's going into that, what's going to be now the middle tray. So here is my new fresh bedding tray. These guys are going to go right there in the corners. These risers are not necessary. However, I notice that the weight actually compresses down the castings. So to not allow it to hopefully go anaerobic or basically stick into the bottom of these trays, I'm adding this as a test just to see. But like I said, those are not actually necessary. They do help out. Each one of them is 2 1/8 inch long, and it seems to be working out pretty well for the last few weeks that I've had it in here. I will add water to this. I'm also going to add some coffee grounds. Some ground eggshell. And a little bit of azomite powder. Now I'll just give this a quick rough incorporation and probably add just a little bit more water to it. I did kind of push it down just a little bit. I don't want it super high, especially with putting the next tray on. So hopefully with pushing it down, the weight will compress it to where those spacers and risers are. Don't know if you see, this is pretty dry right here. That was the castings that were at the very bottom. So I'm giving everybody some water. I might as well give this level a little bit of water too. And just in case you were wondering, this is a 1/2 gallon sprayer. I picked it up at Lowe's and it has unchlorinated water. Basically I filled up a 1/2 gallon water jug, let it sit out for about 2 weeks, and then fill the sprayer up. Okay, beautiful. Very happy with this feeding. If you guys have any questions, don't forget to drop them down in the comments. Thanks for coming along, checking out this video. Everybody have a great day.